Yo, what up, motherfuckers? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy DJ Show. We got my nigga DJ. This nigga frozen. I don't know what the fuck happened.
And it's your girl Inko LJ.
Got my nigga. Who else we got up in here, man?
Frank Dolo. Oh. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, Frank Dolo. Am I stuck?
Nah, you good.
Okay, cool then. Yeah, let's do that then.
For sure. Look, check this out. You already know what it is, man. We back with another podcast and shit. Somehow, my nigga Upgrade left, but he gonna come right back, I believe. Shout out to all the people up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He leave on the intro and shit got stuck.
As soon as
the intro started, he said, "What the fuck?" Here you go. All right, bet. So today, what we got for him, babe?
Man, let's just recap from last show. We talked about Astroworld Fest, and we talked about how there will be possible lawsuits and things like that. And just as suspected, Travis Scott is currently, I think the number's at 40 lawsuits. And that I think that those are just the lawsuits that he has. I don't think that includes the lawsuits that's partnered with Live Nation. I don't think that includes the lawsuits that are combined with Drake. I think those are just his lawsuits alone. So there's a lot of responsibility on Travis's end from the violence of what happened. Not to mention a TikTok that came out, several TikTok stories that came out. And TikTok is the new wave. Like, if you don't have a TikTok, y'all got to at least just create one so you can like try to get a different sense of what's going on. What's up, Barry Beige? But I feel like it's really important because TikTok really shows you a different side of every kind of story, a little bit more intimacy. So come to find out, a lot of these security guards were hired through text. They were told that they would be paid through Cash App. What I'm trying to say? Yes. They told that they were to be told that they would be paid through Cash App, and they mostly were hired through text. Not all of them showed ID, no bar cards. Most of them had never done security before. Like, they were just showing up and were told to body people, harm people. They were actually given no instruction, to be honest. A lot of them said they weren't given any instruction at all. So it's just a very sad situation all the way around. It's really unfortunate because the people who were hired as security, you would think that they would give you some kind of training, some kind of protection, some kind of something, and they really left a lot of people hanging. So, yeah, it's really sad. And of course, celebrities are sending thoughts and prayers.
So, Frank, as you and me being security guards, we know how fucked up the security guards is. Like, nigga, you really don't need a guard card. All you got to do is really know a nigga to get in. And then they'll get you a security shit later, right?
Mm-hmm. That's very shit. We just need a body out there, watch this school, or we need somebody to stand in this lobby real quick and just wear our uniform, and then we'll get you a guard card. And then what they'll do is get you to saying you was an usher.
Yep.
You wasn't a security guard. You was actually just, do a little crowd control and guide people to their, to their seats or whatnot. But it's all bullshit though, and the part that kills me is not that I don't think there's Travis Scott's part because it was his show, but because he kept on performing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He really bad. That, he kept performing after the fact that he already knew for 37 minutes, he kept the show going. You already got your bag, bro. The people came through. If people are dying because people are getting murdered out there, stop the fucking show. You know what I mean? But that's the part where it's kind of confusing for me. And it's like, you look really grimy on that end because there was no need for you to keep performing, Goosebumps or whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? You should have just got on, and got people to safety. And that's where I think that he's going to probably have to, cough up some M's for that. You know what I mean? But if something happens at your show and, people are, some dude is trying to, become the next, Jack the Ripper, I don't think that should fall on the artist, per se. But then again, you guys are right with the protection because that is nothing new in Texas or New York, California. If there's a big event, probably 50% of the people got guard cards.
Yep. If that's the point. If it was a big event, they should have definitely done the extra work to make sure they had good enough security guards, at least 50%. That's right. And I think most of the people just hired through text message. Like, a lot of people just answer to a response to the text message type thing. What did Barry Beige say?
It's still all it takes is security to have a post.
Man.
Right.
That shit real. Like I know so many people that's like, yeah, I did security at this show. Someone said they had never even been to a concert before and they were hired to do security at that concert. I thought that was crazy.
Like, it's crazy. They put those people in a position what they think security is supposed to do instead of actually taking them dudes through training and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these niggas,
you can only do so much, bro, as a guard. Even when you got a gun permit and all that stuff, you can only do so much. You know what I mean? You're just there to observe and report. You know what I mean? It ain't like you supposed to spring into action like, yo, this nigga got a hypodermic needle and he poking niggas. Now I'm about to go rush out here and kill these. I mean, stop this for $17 an hour. That's not gonna pop, you know.
Well, see, come to find out that wasn't even true. I thought that was one of the things that was happening too, because I heard about that for several days, and I was like, the fact that not only that people were getting injured, but someone was sticking people with needles, like that's horrible. I was thinking it too. I genuinely thought that was happening too. Okay. I just saw an article like 45 minutes ago.
Okay,
it just came out that wasn't true. So a lot of people did believe, but this is what I'm saying.
The needle part wasn't true?
But that just came out like 30, 45 minutes ago. I didn't know that before 30 to 45 minutes ago.
Were they protected with anything? Or was he?
I think it was just a bad batch of drugs that went out. I think it was a bad batch. I don't think it was the needles. I genuinely think also a bad batch did go out, which we know is happening. Let's also keep it a buck about what's going on with fentanyl overdose. Like, we all know that's happening, that there's something going on with them cutting one certain drug and mixing it with that F-lace drug, and they're mixing them together, and people are ODing off of it. So I can only imagine that also contributed to a lot of what was going on. But I don't think the security really, or the people who were placed in the position of being security, I think that's so horrific to be placed in that position. Your homeboy sending you a text and you find out 8 people there died. Like, dang, you know what I mean? And like I said a couple days ago, I don't think it was just 8 at all. I don't think it was just 8.
I thought at least one security reported that he was stuck in the neck and they had to use Narcan to bring him back to consciousness or something.
I read that
same stuff. Is that
if that's not the case, like it is, I love what you said about the drugs. It could have been clean drugs, but if there's rumors that there might be some sort of terrorist attack going on and you're in a crush, like you can't move, like everybody thinks it's like the club is packed, kind of crowded. No, people, you can't even put your hands up. There's pressure on your chest. You can't even breathe. And so if I hear that a nigga is getting stabbed 10 feet from me, I'm gonna damn near have a panic attack. And maybe I'm new to Travis Scott and this mosh pit shit, and I don't know why people do this, but I am higher than I am supposed to even be in public. You feel me? Like that's one thing I always tell you is like
phenomenon for that.
Like if you're gonna do drugs, but get hella high at home. Don't be out and about the highest you ever been.
Right.
Shit is not nothing terrible gonna happen.
Hey, your camera not on upgrade.
I was about to say that.
Oh, my fault. I'm trying to figure this out. Y'all low as hell too.
No, we sound good. We sound good. I was gonna say, there's actually there you go. There's actually a phenomenon for that. I read about it. Like for some reason, when people are in spaces that they usually don't do their normal drug in, their like drug of choice in, they have a tendency to go overboard. So think about somebody you always drink with, and for some reason, whenever you go out of town and you go to a different bar, they get drunker than usual. It's because they think they have control, and typically they do have better control over how they control their high or their drunk or whatever when they're in their comfort zone. But when they're not there, typically people are a little bit more anxious and they go a little bit further, and so they can't really gauge when to stop. And it's even worse if you're around a bunch of people who are all thinking the exact same thing. Think about you around a bunch of people that say, I can drink you under the table. And everyone's trying to challenge you know what I mean? And then everyone's 19.
And we got to be honest. Niggas ain't drinking. These niggas snorting cocaine, popping hella pills, fucking taking acid. Because, like, one thing that comes with like a Travis Scott show, some of his music videos are meant to watch off acid. That's why it looks like that and shit. It's like trippy videos or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, acid is not no fucking joke. That's something like, as me being somebody who can admit I've taken it. I had to get to like my 5th time to even be like, oh yeah, let's go somewhere and do this. Cause I'm like, hell no, bro. I don't trust myself, nigga, off this. Like, and a lot of his stuff, like the visuals. I don't know if you guys seen Playboy Cardi's set. You feel me? At Rolling Loud. It's strobe lights, it's smoke. You could barely see him. It's like some real rock star shit. And I really don't want Travis Scott to get villainized when people been dying at rock concerts. If we being honest, I know about one situation where a fire happened and the band died and some of the crowd died. Like,
see,
it
but
gets
that's, I don't
serious
think
in
that's
rock
what
and
we're
roll.
talking about in this situation. That's valid, right? People have died at, Michael Jackson died at the Coca-Cola, almost died at a Coca-Cola commercial. So like, we know the potential for loss at any of these events. This is where I feel like Travis is, and by Travis I mean the brand of Travis Scott.
Yeah,
When you really think about it, it's an umbrella, right? The brand of Travis Scott's responsibility lies in who was responsible for hiring the staff. Why was there only one AED machine there? Why was most of the medical staff untrained? Why was production staff? Why was there? You should typically think about how production staff is. If security guard was adequately trained, there's no way the 2 kids would have been able to climb up to alert the cameraman that something was wrong. So there's layers of where responsibility kind of gets blurred because people have seen the video of the kid. You know what I mean? People have seen the video of the cameraman shooing the kids off, and you can hear these kids clearly saying, "Someone's dying. People are dying." And security guard and the cameraman waves them off. But had there been a security guard, the cameraman probably would have never known what was going on the ground.
True.
The security guard could have alerted the medical staff who was adequately trained. Medical staff could have alerted security in the front, who could have alerted Travis Scott himself to say, we need to take a break to figure out something's going on in the crowd, even if it's a 5-minute break. Travis Scott fans, they would have been tripping, but not tripping as hard if he would have said, I'll shut this bitch down or y'all can
There is a clip of Travis actually stopping the show. Like, whoa. Hey.
And here's where the brand's responsibility.
But that was just one person.
Had his team been properly, and I'm talking about everything was as tight as it needs to be. How is it that the Kardashians can't even go get a donut without having a security of 30 people, but Travis Scott doesn't have adequate security at a festival that we know is happening every damn year? He can't get real Live Nation security guards. They have to hire niggas through text. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's part
That
Live Nation.
Brand responsibility.
It's part Live Nation. It's part my fault.
I'm sorry. No, that was just it.
You guys are low, so you guys gotta let me know. I don't want to talk over anybody, but I do think it's part Live Nation, part venue, and part Astroworld. But somebody told me some game like there's a lot of shows you think it's their show and it's really Live Nation at the end of the day. You feel me? So I don't know how much Astroworld needs to be. If it's in the production, he's gonna get sued too. He's gonna still go. He's gonna have to cash out regardless or whatever. But if we being honest about festivals, it's 50,000 people. If you look at Rolling Loud, they understaffed too. Like if everybody in the crowd said, "Let's fuck this shit up," there's not enough security to stop at any festival. And if we look at Rolling Loud, it's packed out like that. When Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, and they all, I'm not gonna say they incite a riot, but they do incite the mosh pitting or whatever. And I do think that people need to understand, like, don't go to them niggas shows thinking you're gonna be prissy on floor seats over there, because they not just jumping up and down. Them niggas is throwing elbows and they've been doing all that wild shit. And another thing that plays into a part is that big rush earlier in the day. They had enough time to say 500 people snuck in. You feel me? Let's hire 500 security because it's gonna be extra people. They going, I don't know about you, but if I snuck in, I'm going straight to where it's rocking because them is the ragers. So they all like, if I get in, I'm going to the floor for sure. You know, for all we know, there's gonna be some more footage that comes out and they hop in the fence to get to the floor or whatever. Because I'm pretty sure there's more layers of security. And if there isn't, that's a flaw too. I'm not gonna say it's Travis Scott's design, but like I said, if he owns a production company or a promoter company and it's called Astroworld and it's in partnership with Live Nation, he owns a responsibility to that. You feel me? Like on mamas. I did see a clip of him singing, and it looks like they hauling a dead body away. You feel me? Like that dude was stiff as hell. But I also remember growing up watching Michael Jackson sing, and there's hella dead bodies getting. Well, they fainted. They didn't die. But like, you don't know if they dead or
you ain't never seen nobody get carried out of a Michael Jackson concert that was blue.
It was just dead weight.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just dead weight. But yeah, so
Michael Jackson didn't even stop. That nigga still.
That's because he had good ass security. That's
that's
what good security gets you, and a good medical team gets you.
For sure. But I think that's the minimum. I ain't gonna lie. When you said what you said, I really do think that's the minimum requirement to throw a show. You gotta have this, you gotta have that. They need to step that up. And it's gonna hurt the raging community. I'm not gonna say I don't give a fuck, but it's not gonna hurt how I party and how I go to a festival, because I'm not really trying to, especially with COVID and man, I'm not really trying to jump around.
We be at the Jazz Fest with a bag of wine.
For sure. With the lawn and hella space between people.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what's the next subject, DJ?
Next subject, man. We got security guard, man. John Kane, rest in peace. I don't know if y'all heard about that shit.
Speaking of security guards.
Yeah, speaking of security guards, you know what I'm saying? So this guy was at a hotel in Michigan, you know what I'm saying? White dude by the name Jacob. It's a weird name, bro. It starts
Grygorzyk.
Yeah, that it sounds like something like one of the basketball players. You feel what I'm saying? What's his name? That was on the Lakers. One of his cousins. But
sound like a Russian UFC fighter.
Frank, what am I talking about?
Who? Brad Brodovich?
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about.
Frank would know.
We got a lot of those dudes over there.
Whatever white man name you can't pronounce, that's him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They usually have like Jacob, but you know it's get real when you can't pronounce their last name. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch.
What do you do?
So basically in Michigan, you know, he had set his phone up and he had his music playing real loud. So the security, John Kane, you know, he was a football player, you know, a family man as well. You know, he was just on his job. And so while he was on his job, you know, he was standing by the door. And dude was like, he asked dude, he said, yo, can you please turn the music down? Like, come on, man. Like, and then so it got to the point where he's like, come on, can you leave? Like, come on. Like, so dude had the door open. He set his camera up on live. He set the camera up on live, right? He turns around, like he up there throwing up GD. You know what I'm saying? While he throw up GD at the camera, he pulls a gun out from his waistband and chases the guy down and kills him. And it's a video. I was like, yo, but it don't show the dude getting killed, but you hear the shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck, man. So what he did was he went home and killed himself.
What?
Yeah, he went home and killed himself. And I think on the obituary it says something like he faces depression and you know what I'm saying? They had a tough life or something like that. Or they not calling him a fucking murderer on his obituary.
I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all.
And then it's crazy because you got all of these black gangs accepting, you know, different races, especially white. I mean, I understand Mexican and black because we come from the same area, so that's common. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, bro, I ain't never seen no other nigga but Dave Chappelle a part of the KKK. Like, I'm just saying, my nigga, you got white people. You got white people in the black gangs killing black people. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, damn.
Yeah, they contributing to a violence they don't even understand. Yeah. Because it does make the funerals even different. Like, when hood niggas get killed in the hood, the funerals is about the hood. Like, the hood come out, and the hood celebrate the hood, and they call it a celebration of life. And you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like it's always sad. It's not any less sad. But the way that the hood responds to hood violence is to just have the funeral as though, you know, we just call it what it is. And then we've even been to funerals where the hood will come out, the hood will pay for the funeral or something like that. You know what I mean? It'll be flags everywhere, but it's still what it is, you know?
Yeah.
When it's a white person who joins a black gang in a black neighborhood, the family that already doesn't understand the layers, like the way the social layering is built for black gangs. So they're going to remove his motivation for violence. his motivation was rooted in a misunderstanding about hood violence in general. Because
Yeah.
how often are hood niggas gunning down security guards just for random reasons, unless it's an initiation, but just like that.
That's what they said, it was gang initiation.
So they're saying that it was a gang initiation. So they motivated this young boy to go kill the security guard. I feel like
A white boy in a black gang to kill another black person.
So it removes the motive. So when they make the funeral removes his gang motivation, it's like, no, connect him.
I hate to sound heartless, but you got to kill your own kind. If I had a white dude, you can't kill no black citizen and impress me. You got to kill your own kind. Asian, Arab, all down the line. I'm just saying though. I don't know. I'm respect though, but I don't give a fuck. You're not about to kill a brother.
I feel like
you gotta wake up.
What you think?
What you think, Frank? Yeah, what you think, Frank?
I don't think white people should be from the hood, but I agree with Upgrade. Like, like if you're gonna put in some work, go put in some work on them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Those are the real enemies to us. Like, so if we're able to manipulate you and want to be down with our cause, and you out there trying to throw up the set and all that, cool, throw up the set. But go out there and go get those Kyle Ritteners that's out there shooting the Black Lives protesters.
Man,
that brother that's out there that killed them people in North Carolina. What's that brother? I mean that there you go. Hit those. And if we are able to get white people and get them to put in work on other white people, then now we're doing our job. I know our
and
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta give up them secrets, man. You gotta give up them secrets that families say at the dinner table and they'll never say out loud again. Give up some of that privilege. Like, you gotta really show us that you down with us. Tell us how your grandpapa taught you how to develop wealth and build up your credit, and how he put up like 2,000 into a bond, and when you turn 35, that shit turned into 40 racks miraculously. Like, give that shit up for sure.
You got to get the right white boys for that though. Like, we got to get those white boys that actually got something. We can't get those white boys,
but we got to get.
You know what
I'm saying? That we accept people and we don't demand things. Because if you go into any other community, they need some shit, bro. You feel me? Like, hold on though. Show us that you down.
Yeah.
Teach us some rhythm. Teach us, do something for us. And we just like, oh man, you talk like us, you down. Kill another nigga. I don't know, bro. If I was in that gang, I'd look like.
Nah. Just like on par of what we're talking about. I was looking at this video back when I used to look at Vlad TV. And there's this dude named China Mac, and he's claiming to be a Crip and and all this stuff, but an Asian Crip with it, right? And he broke down how they don't sell drugs to their own people. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like just think about that for a minute. And he was on there just like, yeah, we don't do that. Like, that ain't something that we do. You know what I mean? Like, and so who you selling it to? If you a big Asian dope dealer, who you getting your dope off to? Whose community are you fucking up?
You already know.
It's probably people that look like us. You know what I'm saying? So it always fucked me up on how we accept white people in our music, and then we accept white people in our culture. We accept white people in our lives on things. And don't get me wrong, I got some white partners that's really cool, but they've shown me certain things where they understand where we coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just got some regular white folk friends. You know what I'm saying? They down for the cause. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, he's right. We're too accepted of other cultures in our shit when it ain't just white folks. Asians don't let us fuck with them like that. Mexicans don't really, like, your neighbors might be cool, your next door neighbors, but they not inviting us to their quinceañeras and doing all that shit. Like, but us, come on in the barbecue, Billy. Come on to the barbecue.
Go to Chinatown.
Like, we don't give a fuck. Like, and we too willy-nilly for our history to be so fucked up.
Right. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like
that shows who we are as people, though. We don't have that in our hearts to be fucked up to individuals, but we need to match these people's energy or these other cultures' energy, because we're the only culture that's inviting like that. And then if you look at Indians, Arabs, Middle Eastern, anybody, any other culture, they don't fuck with us like that. Italians, they don't fuck with black folks.
But they'll take that money, though. They'll take that money.
Oh, no doubt.
Because money knows no race. Money is
an opportunity like that, it's all good. But then again, it's like, we don't. Okay, check this out. I can break bread with you on the money, right? But you can't come to my home after we get done doing like a $2 million deal. if you and I and DJ, this all blow up, right? We got to go eat some dinner. Like, yo, we come from humble beginnings. Yeah. But if we breaking bread, like, yo, I don't really fuck with Upgrade like that. You know what I'm saying? But I get the money with them. That ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Black folks would be like, come eat with us. You can blow up. And then go on and then forget about it. It's like, some Eminem shit. You know what I'm saying? Or there's so many white folks that did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Edison, like, they steal shit, they take shit, and then act like we wasn't involved. And to be really real with you, I don't when it comes to black, any more cultures fucking with our stuff that we've provided for this nation or this world in general, I ain't waiting no more. I want us to get our chips of dip. After we get paid and get what we want and what we need, then other people can be invited. Until then, all black culture shit is shut the fuck off. Like, y'all can't come out and just take our shit, bro.
But that's what they've been doing.
I feel like the black community's inability to establish boundaries comes from our abilities to maintain them once we have them, and it doesn't come from us not maintaining them. It comes from literally a structural, like a systemic effort to keep us from sustaining them. We all are immediately thinking about Black Wall Street. Like, immediately, that's what we all think about. We think about the opportunity for Black people to build a thriving community. We think about gentrification. We can think about Leimert Park. We can think about Long Beach. We think about Compton, like parts of communities that we grew up in that we wouldn't even have walked through at certain points. We see white people walking their dogs through or jogging through. Like, it's stuff like that. So. That contributes to the way that Black people perceive boundaries. Not to mention, anytime Black people mention a requirement to maintain self or our own identity, our own self-actualization, everyone else tells us we're playing the race card. So we come into a workplace, they tell us that our hair needs to look a certain way. And when we tell them that doesn't work with what we're doing, they tell us we're playing the race card when it's literally a part of us just existing, right?
Yeah.
So when I think of like even gang violence in general, hood culture is one of the only things that we hold dear, but at the same time don't have any control over, right? So it's like, even this gang, like these blocks that these dudes own, they don't own any of the gangs. Like some of the rights of the actual language of the gangs, they don't even own. Some white guy owns the language of these gangs or even the representation of these gangs, right? But because we have been taken from so often, we're so conditioned to be taken from, a part of us belief that we won't be taken from is to give or to be open. We feel like if we create a space that's so open, there should be no reason for you to violate me. Should be no reason for you to be whatever out of pocket. There should be no reason why I'm not welcome to your home if you're welcome to mine, is basically the scenario that's built. But the fact about it is, the reason why that isn't true is because they're always playing the race card. That's the irony, is that we try to refrain from playing the race card, but everyone's always playing the race card, especially with us. So that's something that I feel like, is really important when we think about how this violence happened with this security guard and this white guy, is that he has the privilege as a white man for his obituary, for the way that he's remembered, to not be connected to gang violence. When our Black men and women die in the hood from gang violence, it's only remembered as a gang crime, if it's remembered at all. That's the part where I'm like
the kid in St. Louis. Nigga, he stole some Swishers. Oh, so he deserves to die because he stole some Swishers, and comes out, he paid for it, has a cool relationship with the store owner, and that was all based on bullshit, man. Like, I don't like these cop-outs that they create. Even the narrative with the Travis Scott thing, a crazed man went crazy and stuck people. No, if that really did happen, why are you already calling him crazy? Let's hold whoever this is. I don't care if he stuck one person, a security guard. If somebody pulled out a syringe and started sticking motherfuckers around, why is everybody saying in the tabloids and on the platforms, oh, he went crazy? That is premeditated like a motherfucker, bro. You went to a show with syringes and then you just happened to go crazy. It's like, tell me this man is white without telling me he's white. You already making the excuse for it. And I haven't even seen nobody even know who he is. But it's obvious he white because You
Hell
already
yeah.
saying he
Because they're
crazy.
removing-
Next thing they gonna say he was
it's real
depressed. Like
motivations.
that
Yeah.
shit ain't cool, man.
Real motivations. That's how you know.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next subject.
Oh, so Howard University. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know. Y'all probably do know. In the comments, y'all might not know. So, but you might also know. So Howard University students have been now 30 days protesting Howard University for unlivable housing conditions. I don't know if y'all know, but Howard University has a building. It's the Blackburn building, and it's also like their chemistry building. It's several buildings that are just unlivable and like they're not practical means of education. So for instance, in the chem building, the machine that they're supposed to use, so the eye wash machine, there's like several eye wash machines that are supposed to be in chem buildings, especially like chemicals, upsplash. The eye wash liquid is yellow. Like it's supposed to be water. It's supposed to be
That's
water.
crazy.
Yeah, right? And then the Blackburn building, which is one of the dorms, has mold, and they in some situations painted over the mold or put that rubber like caulking stuff they put on the sinks to cover the mold. The AC units either don't work or the heating units are so outdated. They got those old school thermostats from the 70s, like the little gold ones. It's bad. So the students have been protesting and they've been living in tents on the grass with food being donated to them. They have not been attending class for 30 days, and the powerful people, as far as like the higher ups, the university superiors, won't meet with the students. And it's been 30 days they've been sleeping on grass. People have been bringing food, blankets. It's getting cold. They're in DC. Let's keep this in mind. They're in DC in November sleeping on the grass because their housing is so unlivable, and they won't even meet with these students. And so it's really crazy because when you think of like historically Black universities, the things that's been racking my brain is, you mean to tell me Howard University didn't produce one architect, one person that knows how to bring a building up to code? It's nobody in y'all's history who can go to that school, tear down and put a little bit of, y'all all put your alumni money together and spare Howard the embarrassment, right? Y'all can go after administration later. But let's get these kids back in this housing before it get real cold. They got a semester to finish. That way they can go back to classes, and then as alumni, we can go after our money from administration because we graduated, and we will air you out because we're lawyers and doctors and architects and engineers. This is what I'm saying. Not one of y'all can go get a permit. That's the thing that's blowing my mind. I know the responsibility is on the administration, but what's blowing my mind is that not one Howard University graduate can bring that building up to code for those kids. I don't get it. Because I feel like there's a different kind of responsibility to a historically Black university. That's the whole reason you went, or you could have went to the PWI up the street. You could have went to San Jose State. You know what I mean? But you made an effort to go to an HBCU because we know the history that comes with going to a historically Black university. It's about the legacy, right? We always, Black people, talk about legacy. We were just talking about hood culture. The point that I was going to make is hood culture something that we are willing to hold on to and argue down? Because if we look at HBCUs, what the F is happening at Howard, and why are those students sitting out there for 30 days? It doesn't make any sense to me.
At all. Like, for real.
I mean,
you hear that at UCLA. You don't hear that shit at USC.
UCLA would never.
You don't hear that at none of the white colleges that have white fraternities.
It's prestigious. And it's a cash grab. Some people buy statues so their son could get up in that motherfucker or whatever. I do think that what Sis said is right. Like, there's a whole bunch of rich ass celebrities that went to Howard. Like, you niggas can't piece up together.
Bro, facts. That's
all I keep thinking.
That intuition, like somebody's getting paid.
They all paid tuition.
Tuition should be covered with like there's.
I need that semester back.
It's like, what are you doing with my money? But the thing is, we've been in a situation like that, low key, like where we're paying somebody to stay at a spot they own. You know what I mean? So I could definitely relate to that, like where we paid low key or not low key or rent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We stayed in the Modi spot. You know what I'm saying? And
they left us hanging.
They left us hanging. So it's like, yo, why the fuck is we paying you and you not taking care of? Like we could literally die in this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Off of having a Modi building. So I understand. It's like, damn, the 10 is safer, but goddamn, at the same time, we gotta make a statement. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, how the fuck y'all gonna hear us? It's like, how is a college not having no fucking students? How are y'all still getting paid? Like this is it's uncivilized.
For real talk. Real talk. And it's been 30 days. These students have been protesting. They sleeping in tents. Tents had to be donated to some of these kids. Like, that's
you paint on mold. You know, like you dealing with you could get your silly ass school sued. You feel me? And then that's less money this black college is gonna have.
Like that's the part that's going on.
It's a fucked up situation, man. I do think this is where I want to see black celebrities step up. Like every black celebrity is not a civil rights leader, but if you a celebrity, you got some paper, you feel me? Nigga, and your alumni, kick back 40,000. If all y'all kick back 40,000, whatever the fuck y'all could do, y'all at least be able to make sure they are right. You can at least use your celebrity to politic to an apartment in the vicinity or a hotel. Hey man, I'm gonna pay for 2,000 students hotel. Can you give me a discount on that? And I'll get you some positive tests or whatever the fuck
you have at a convention. And it's not like it's impossible because there are plenty of hotels nearby. I've only visited Howard one time, and it was in 2000, I want to say 11 or something like that. And the structure around Howard University looks like the structure how USC used to look 10 years ago. It may be better now, but at the time, it was not particularly livable until you got to the campus. And it looked like you walked into a palace. It looked like everything was like so much brighter when you got on campus. But as soon as you stepped off campus, it looked like,
Where's Howard at? What city is Howard in?
DC, Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's like USC. As soon as you...
That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's another reason why I think it's unbelievable that these alumni will leave these students on the grass because you know what it's like out there, especially because it's getting cold. You don't think these kids are at risk of yes, they're on a campus, but you don't think these kids are at risk of their lives being, a little bit more risky in an area where we know niggas got to get on, they got to get over, they got to do what they got to do. Even when I was out there, we took the train, got off the train, walked up the train and walked to the campus. And we walked to the campus. It was several moments where I was like, hey, do I need to rest? You know what I mean? These niggas is a little aggressive out here, And this is all the people, because it wasn't just everybody out there's a little aggressive. So, my bad.
Oh, no, you good. Go ahead.
I just feel like they put the kids at risk, and I feel like the alumni who haven't taken a step toward just putting their money where their mouths are. You want to talk about Howard in your interviews all day. You want to go to the homecoming all year, talk about, I was at the homecoming, I went to the ballet. All that. You want to talk about all that bullshit, but there's kids sleeping outside. And this is the crazy. It's only happening this year. It's not like the mold appeared in August of 2021. This is years of unlivable conditions. Where's last year's students? The students before. Phylicia, Rashad, and Debbie Allen are graduates of Howard University, and they went to the campus. And they had opposing views. And they're sisters. So they had opposing views. Phylicia Rashad was basically coming from the perspective of okay, well, you said how you felt, and administration will hear your thoughts, and it's time to return to class. And Debbie Allen was like, well, at the same time, you need to stand up for yourself, remain strong. You know what I mean? She was coming from the perspective of fuck that. And Phylicia Rashad was like, all right, well, it's time to go, and pulled her sister in.
Look what Robbie said. He said we rather stun on each other than help
That's
each other.
tough for me.
Robbie said we would rather stun on each other instead of helping each other.
That's crazy because that is true though. Niggas do that though. They'll buy a brand new Lamborghini or Bugatti and leave their niggas behind. But on another note, what you was talking about, how rappers could piece up 40,000. The cold thing is they got more students in the fucking at the fucking college than there are rappers. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just I understand what you're saying. They could definitely be the people that did go there that definitely has a platform could definitely speak out on it. But I'm like, damn, them niggas are getting millions of dollars from the goddamn students off the rip to fix this shit. What they 40,000 gonna do compared to to shit they already getting. So I understand what you're saying on that note, but it's damn, they already getting a tuition of 40,000 every semester. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, here's what's gonna fuck y'all up. Okay, are y'all ready to hear some Howard University graduates? Let's build the perspective of who these potential donors could be. Who are the Howard people that could put their money where their mouths are? And I didn't even get to the list.
Is Terrence Howard one? Because for some reason I think Terrence Howard went to Howard.
Who's that?
I already knew Diddy.
We already knew Diddy. Diddy's the first person on this list. Taraji P. Henson, Lala Anthony, the vice president.
Kamala
Harris is an AKA.
That bitch gotta cash out. She's disappeared, bruh. I ain't seen her in some months.
Hold on, there's more. For some reason this list isn't loading. Omarosa, who we know was always talking about with Donald Trump, right?
Yep.
Wendy Raquel Robinson from the Steve Harvey Show. Lance Gross from Tyler Perry movies. I already said Taraji P. Henson. Phylicia Rashad, who we just talked about. Debbie Allen, who we just talked about.
Yeah.
Anthony Anderson. Laz Alonso. We already said a lot. Marlon Wayans. Okay, Marlon Wayans. Lynn Whitfield. Like, these are people who have been in plenty of things. I wonder if I can pull a list of basketball players.
I mean, even if they don't have the money, they could all come together, use their celebrity.
$20,000, 15, like 10. Even if the 12 people I named put $10,000 each together, that's $120,000. You don't mean to tell me they couldn't go to a government, or not even a government contractor, a local contractor, and say, look, we're going to put up $120,000 and we're going to put an APB out to other celebrities to donate, but can you start the reconstruction, or at least bringing this building up to code? Can you make this building livable? We're not asking for y'all to build a new building. We're not even asking for you to build 2 new buildings. Make the building livable. That means tear down some walls, not even all the walls. Take the walls down and just re-put the walls up.
Yeah.
Keep the structure of the building.
That's what they're going to have to do.
Put new carpet down. Put in new air conditioning and heating. Fix the piping. Like, this is basic shit that you do on a house every 10 to 15 years. This is basic shit you should be doing.
I think they're going to be better off. I mean, I don't know if the celebrity's going to cash out, but if they come together, show up to the dorms, show the mold. If I live in a room with mold, regardless of the celebrities or not, I'm going to sit down with a lawyer and I got to sue the school. As much as I love my future alma mater and all this shit, I am a black kid and my parents are going broke trying to pay for me to get here if I can't shoot a shot or, run through and find the A gap in football or whatever. You feel me? Like, if I don't got no scholarly.
Any job or career is not guaranteed.
And it's not guaranteed. That's another part. They're risking money for jobs that they may never get. They're risking their money for degrees, for jobs they may never attain, or they may not even want.
And time they'll never get back.
Literally.
You hotboxing mold all day. Who's to say whoever who graduated or had the room the year before, that motherfucker could be sick as fuck right now. And he's looking at this like, I used to be up in that dorm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I got breathing problems.
Look at the comments. Robbie just said they got federal money from Trump's. Do you remember during the presidential election when they was trying to convince black people to not vote for Joe Biden? What was one of the things they were saying about HBCUs? He gave all this money to the black universities. What money to so-and-so? Where's the money? If you got all this money from Trump that was enough to sway black people to not vote Democrat in the last election, where is the money?
That is the most touchy subject I want to have with people. But I just do not want to big up Trump at all.
I'm just talking about that one argument. I'm talking about just that one thing. That was one of the things that always got brought up. He gave all this money to HBCU.
They did the same thing with Mexicans. They was like, Trump with the border and the kids wrapped up in foil. Them niggas still wrapped up in foil.
They're still
You niggas just don't like Trump.
They're still
and they use that, bro, to manipulate us, and we're like,
but the whole election we knew was all a bunch of which again, because we're streaming, we're gonna be sensitive about it. But what the comment is saying is true. The swaying was true, but that argument happened a lot. Oh, they gave all this money to the HBCUs. They gave all this money to Howard. And a year later, not even a year later, we are in November. Oh, I'm sorry. It is exactly a year. Exactly a year later, Howard University students have been sleeping on the grass for a month.
It feels like the Haiti situation. Like, are you niggas just pocketing this money?
Yes. The answer
Like,
is
what the fuck is going on?
when they tried to, do you remember when they tried to pin that on that black? They tried to pin like $1 million were stolen by a black student. They tried to say a black Howard University student had scammed like $1.2 million from the bursar's office or something like that, and he was using it to do photo shoots. Come to find out, that's not what happened. It wasn't true, but that sparked another protest at Howard where they were like, "Where's the money? They were protesting, "Where's the money?" 2 years ago. Where's the money? That's what if the celebrities don't have the money to donate, that is what they should be arguing. They should be applying that kind of pressure. My illustrious university, where's all of the money that was given to you federally and donation wise? Because my fellow alumni, future alumni, are sleeping on the grass right now, and I'm not happy about that. So I'm going to continuously apply that kind of pressure. That's what I feel like. If you're not going to donate money, do that. And I have not.
This is the thing. You can't threaten to leave because white folks don't want you in a black college anyway. You feel me? They're going to be like, you should have went to UFC. You should have got your grades straight and went to Princeton. You feel me? Like they want your money. They want you to give them your 40,000. It's gonna be 40,000. It's gonna be 65,000 a year or whatever.
That's a very good.
So it's like we gotta really build up these black. We gotta pick one because I ain't gonna lie, Grambling is starting to like be what Howard was for me growing up. Like that's the go-to black college now because Grambling is sending football players to the NFL. And that's starting to change the dynamic. And, you know, they all got the step teams and all that, the halftime shows, hella dope cultural shit. You feel me? But I want to talk to Fody about how Grambling's campus looks or whatever. Because, like, I'm starting to feel like them niggas is slowly. I remember it was Howard and then, you know, it was other black colleges. It was cool. But now I'm really starting to hear like Grambling, bro. You're going to go to a black college, you got to go to Grambling. And for me growing up when I was younger, that was Howard, like by default, for sure.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to go to Howard for a long time. For a very long time, I definitely wanted to go to Howard. But yeah, so what was the next thing, Show?
Next subject, man. So we was talking about dude. What's his name? The fake cry nigga.
Oh God, you want to start that grade? Kyle Rittenhouse.
Let's start this off. I want to say something. It's probably gonna be controversial, but when black people kill, there is a ignorance, but there is a reason. They blue, I'm red. I'm from the west side. They from the east side. Them niggas killed my cousin 10 years ago. I'm trying to get my get back. But nobody explains why do suburban Caucasian people kind of like to kill, bruh? And who the fuck is you calling the savages at the end of the day or whatever? But the trial's going on for what's his name?
No, you're right. Keep going. You're saying all the points. We all
like that shit is crazy. Like there are, you know what disappointed me? The DC sniper, nigga. When I found out them niggas was black, I'm like, niggas going perfect. You feel me? Even with that kid, that school shooting in Texas, they're trying to make it sound like it was a school shooting. Nah, nigga, that was a black dude getting picked up by another black dude. Whap. And that was it, you feel me? But they try to make it seem like it was a school. Like no. Black people do not go around killing just innocent random motherfuckers. This is not Columbine or whatever. But like, once again, the narrative with the news, they are trying to make this kid sound like he was really in a traumatized state of mind when he chose, I think he went from a state over to come to the black protests.
Yes.
To police black people.
Yeah.
He's not a fucking police officer. He's not a fucking Marine. And even if he was that, this is out of your jurisdiction. And he's waving to the police and he ends up killing two people.
Yep.
And he's
he wouldn't
unapologetic
kill
in
more.
that moment. In that moment, he's waving to people kind of coming up to him, and he's ready to kill. And now when it gets to the courtroom, he can't even, because he might have a soul, or maybe that's how God works, and they took the soul away from him, but did no tears even come out his face or whatever. And he's basically like, it's the I don't want to go to jail for what I did cry. And I'm used to seeing that because I know hella black people on some ignorant shit and like got lost in the moment, may have did some dumb stuff. Now you in court. Now it's you're guilty. Now it's time for you to get your time, and now you feel bad. You feel me? But at the time, as a black man, there ain't no choice but accountability. You feel me?
Right.
If Shope do something right now, he can't cry, oh, officer, I was mad and I was distraught. Nick, you going to jail. You feel me? And now for the narrative with the news, like I said earlier, they try to make that dude, whoever that dude allegedly stabbing people with syringes, he's crazy. I already know he white if they ever catch him, for sure.
Right.
And now they're talking about the distraught kid has his testimony and he breaks down crying because he don't want to go to jail.
You know what it is?
That's all.
Right, just say
Like that's fucked up because the way they pray like he's an innocent kid, they kind of devalue the black people he killed.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Kinda, it is the value.
Wasn't it a white man too? Didn't he also kill a white man?
He might have, yeah.
I think he shot a white man too.
That's funny, but he could have easily went to a KKK rally, the nearest KKK rally, and did the same shit. It's like I'm pretty sure. So I feel like it was terrorist motivated. Fuck what he talking about, because I know niggas in jail that has hood traumatic. That's in jail. They never got that excuse. You know,
Right.
like you said.
Right. Influenced by older hood. But can I just speak to that real quick?
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Go do your theater.
And like you said, bro, you was like, they look at us as savages. They always look at us as savages. You feel what I'm saying? So this is just generational curses that they haven't dealt with. You dig what I'm saying? So it's
killed two white folks at the black riots?
It was a Black Lives Matter rally. I thought it was just one
down.
guy. Yeah.
And I hate to say it, should have shot some niggas because he probably would have.
If he didn't,
man, it hurts to hear that shit, but I know y'all was thinking that shit. Tell me y'all wasn't thinking that in the back of your subconscious a little bit, like, damn, you shot two white folks?
I thought it was just one white guy, but
nigga, you nigga said he picked the lotto pick, like nigga, wait,
but
you going down?
Yeah, like
they about to get this nigga a black set, just like you killed white people and a black. I know,
but it's
attorney.
the rally. The rally is they're gonna make it seem like it was so traumatizing.
The attorney is looking at this nigga like, out of all the black people that was at that rally,
yeah,
you picked.
The police probably told him you should have shot the niggas. You feel me?
That's probably exactly what they told him. That's probably exactly.
It's like, but look at the supreme state of privilege. You feel me?
Ooh,
I don't think he's gonna get off, but he did show up to a black rally to police the people. You feel me? Like, oh, they're rioting. Let me show up with my gun.
That's what the news is saying that he said. But let's go with two things, okay?
Yeah.
Let's have two points. One, the first point is his mother drove him across state lines.
No.
Please keep this in mind. His mother drove him and a loaded AR-15 across state lines to a Black Lives Matter rally.
Oh, that's racially programmed.
Okay.
Man, lock that bitch up too.
So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. That's the first thing. The second thing is, remember, Sho was talking about how there are niggas in jail for something that they did when they was young on some hood shit. 9 times out of 10, they did that shit because they were influenced by someone older than they were, and they still have to serve that sentence. And there's a chance that older person told them to do it because the older person knew they'd get more time if they did it themselves. But that's a whole nother story. But it's the influence of an older person, and they are still serving time no matter what. This boy was driven by his mom. Is that not influence from your mother? Is that not influence from someone older than you? So that's the first thing. The second thing is they want to keep saying, if they keep framing it as he went to police the people, it implies the people needed policing. It implies that there was something that needed to be policed. And then he said he claimed they were asked to protect property. The reason why it's going to be easy for him to get off is if he keeps pushing it to, we were asked to, we were pushed to, those kinds of things, it absolves him. It makes him seem like he was influenced by someone else
He got to give up his. He got to give up his
yeah,
source.
and it makes it even more difficult for them to pin it on him. But I watched the video this morning, and in the video this morning, he's being cross-examined. And in the cross-examination, he can't, obviously, when you're being cross-examined, like you can't answer the question in a lie because the lie is going to unfold in the cross-examination. So they're saying, okay, so you mean to tell me you drove with an AR-15 because you felt like you were going to be attacked? If he would have said, yes, I felt like I would have been attacked, it's premeditation. He cannot say, I felt like I was going to be attacked. So what he kept saying was, no, the people in the buildings, they were there to protect us. Okay, so protect you. So they had AR-15s. Why did you need yours? If he says, because I felt like I was going to be attacked again, which he did, they said, okay, because you felt like you were going to be attacked. Well, no, I didn't. So they get him in this cycle where he can't answer in the lie because it's not the truth. And that's why I was going to say earlier, to bring back to the original point of the cry, his cry is not the same cry. His cry is that I have to figure out how to feel bad about something I don't feel bad about at all.
He don't want to go to jail.
And I'm getting donations from and pats on the back from cops about. I don't feel bad about that shit at all.
And then on top of that, I think about it like this: it's building perspective. He could have been on some shit like, I'm not gonna kill no black people because I'm gonna kill these white people that help these black people.
Yeah, because I hate
them nigga lovers.
I hate them more. How dare you?
Fuck it, you know how they
traitors.
Like nigga lover, yeah, exactly, nigga lover and shit like that. So yeah, we gonna disable these white people that's helping these.
Yep. Because go ahead.
Next person is like, so y'all know we trying to disable like the army.
Right.
And so we're gonna go ahead and get the people that we know that could possibly trade on us and give them the insight on what we doing.
Because that speaks to exactly what we said earlier about gangs. Remember, we just said if I'm gonna get some white people in the gang, they gonna help us.
Facts.
Yeah.
He literally killed the very white people we imagined helping us.
Right.
Well, you know, at a riot, it's a white boy with a rifle with an AR-15. Yeah, we're protesting unjust black shooting. I'm gonna keep it solid. Hell yeah, get y'all white asses on the front line and fucking, protect us with that privilege, nigga. We already protested some shit that happened. So like, now that I know them as white folks that put their body on the line, their life on the line, RIP to them two, soldiers or whatever.
Yeah,
that seen somebody looking for a problem. Because even though we were there, I seen some black people protecting stores, but wasn't no black people walking around trying to police the people. He was walking around saying hi to cops, like, and you know what that shit go? Like, that shit is so obvious. And I hate that white people get a pass on just acting ignorant to shit goddamn very well about. Like, bro, you brought a gun to a black protest and you're against the black people? That sounds like a hate crime. Why is that not being put? Oh, because you didn't kill no niggas. But so what? It's still a hate crime to me. If I shoot two white people at an Asian stop the Asian hate protest, they still gonna give me a hate crime because you came there with intentions. You walking around with an AR-15. Some white people approached you, but you came anti to their movement or whatever. I don't know how the law scriptures their fucking hate crime shit though, but I swear to God, we get the shit end of the stick though, for sure.
Always, because the thing is, it's only a hate crime to people who perceive it as a hate crime. Here's a perfect example of people not realizing, let me phrase this, people abusing their privilege and committing crimes against other underprivileged communities. And I'm gonna use light-skinned people as an example. As a light-skinned woman, it is a crime against someone of a different privilege. Say if I was dark-skinned women, right? It is a disservice to be in a space and allow people to discredit dark-skinned women or to take opportunities from dark-skinned women, knowing that dark-skinned women receive lesser opportunities. Think Zazie in this last The Harder They Fall movie. That is a crime against a lesser community. But if you talk to the average light-skinned person, they're going to be like, well, it's not like that. It's not really like that. So if the person who's perceiving the scenario doesn't perceive it as a hate crime, it's not a hate crime to them. Who's the judge? The guy with the racist ringtone that went off during the trial. Who's the jury? Probably a lot of white people. Yeah. So like, if they don't perceive it as a crime, what? That's not a crime. He was just trying to protect the people. What are you talking about? Taking opportunities from dark-skinned women isn't bad. She was just trying to do something better for herself. You see, if you frame it in a way that's not a hate crime, it doesn't seem like a hate crime, and that's what they're trying to do. If they frame it as he was policing the people, it sounds like he was doing a good thing because they want people to have good feelings about the cops. But people who do not have good feelings about the cops hear policing the people, and we go, that's not a thing for not police people to do.
Yeah, you're not the police. You don't have a license to ill. You feel me? Exactly. The police
cops don't even have a license to kill.
They kind of do. They shouldn't, but they do. But they can always just call more police. Why do you got to call 19-year-old? Hey, we need your help. 19-year-old privileged ass white kid. Have your mama drive 2 states over to come. No, that's not how. That don't even sound real.
Even if he was asked, do you think it happened like that? Because
who asked? I bet you we can't give that up.
I bet you it would happen on one of them little groups that's run by people who wear badges.
Yeah, like I swear to God, bro, they better put pressure on him to say who asked you to come over here. What, a store owner? Was you by the store? Did the police? What police officer asked you to come over here? Did you stand with him and act like the police? But why are you sitting here like you're an undercover FBI agent and you have to walk through the crowd with your gun? Like,
this, you know, what's so crazy?
I would have been a dead nigga. You're supposed to sucker punch people like that.
You know what this makes me think of? Real quick before we go to the next subject, it makes me think of. Do you watch Shameless? That show? Shameless?
My girl loves that shit.
Okay, then she'll probably bring this up to her later. There's a character named Carl. He's the youngest white son because there's also another son, the last son, but he's black. The youngest white son, Carl, goes through these ups and downs that all of the white boys in the hood go through. He has a black phase and he tries to date a black girl, whatever. Now he's at his cop phase, okay? He's too young to join the academy, but a cop tells him to join like this route. And he basically goes undercover, and the cop basically, he doesn't say he goes undercover, but he goes undercover to like do like a bus basically as an opportunity to get into the police academy. So as we're talking about this kid who's being told to come police the people, it seemed like an audition to me.
Yeah.
If he was asked, it seemed like, and even on the show, Carl is told he can't say who told him to do what he did. So he's on the stand. Like, and he's on trial and they're asking him these questions. And they even, I think at one point ask him who did it. And the way it plays out is very weird, but it makes me wonder if they do put pressure to tell him, to make him say who asked you to do that, is going to look a lot like what I just watched on Shameless.
Yeah, for sure. It's not going to be a store owner, and it's probably not going to be like, who are you going to tell on? Because if it's a PD officer, man, throw his ass in jail too. Now I know his mama drove him, nigga. Your mama need to sit her ass in jail. Oh,
that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's accessory to murder.
That is definitely, especially if you raise a little ding motherfucker.
Because if you think about the way that they even police black moms, a black mom went to jail for going to a job interview and her kids was in the car right outside the door, but she didn't have nobody to watch her kids, went to jail.
Yeah.
A mom went to jail for changing the address on her kids' records to put them in a better school, went to jail. Like, a black mom is right now being charged with the death of all of her children, all 5 of her children, because on her birthday, while her parents were babysitting her kids, she went out to go hang out. And while her parents were babysitting her kids, the apartment, which wasn't up to code and didn't have fire alarms, went up in flames. Her parents, being old as hell, couldn't get the kids out of the burning rooms and could only save themselves. And the mother's being charged with neglect, even though she had a babysitter. Even though the slumlord is a police officer, she's being charged with the crime of her children. This is how they treat black moms. And a white mother drove her child across state lines with a loaded AR-15 and he killed 2 people. And she gets accountability. Sit in the courtroom and watch her son.
It's super accountability on black folks, man. Like, and then it's you just, like I said, people. I ain't gonna lie. I talked to a white girl I feel like was playing games with me, and I had a lightweight like look her in the eye like, bitch, you playing stupid, huh? Like you really get a kick out of what are you talking about? No, I didn't. And she just kind of hit this smirk, and it's like, nah, there's no way that you believe the shit coming out your mouth. It's just like it's a cold game being played, but like it's almost like we're animals, and like the white people who could be around black people and they like them, it's like a circus, and the ringleader, and the rest of us are like animals. And then you go back home and your girl's like, oh, you're so dreamy, you make all the black people like you, and woo 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 woo, like they're impressed by this. And it's like I don't get why people don't peep this, bro, especially people who are who are not black but love talking about race issues. Like, your points are off, your stats are kind of off, like your stats are out of content. They'll be like, oh, black people do this much of murder and black people do this percent of this. And it's like you don't place in that black people have always been watched, especially when niggas got free. That's why they made the police watch these niggas all day and treat them bad. And then I wanted to say this because I always like to say this. We wore our pants at our waist. We stayed in our own communities. We had our own banks, our own schools, and these devil ass niggas dropped a bomb on us, bro, because they seen what happened when we just stayed to ourselves. So like, I always say that to people, like, well, look how you act. We acted perfect in the 50s. You niggas was still you used to hang us on trees. I'll never go back to that shit. I don't give a fuck how bad black culture get. I ain't never calling no white man sir. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't going back to them days. We were calling them sir. They was kicking us in their asses, bro. They was letting dogs on us. They was hosing us down because we don't want to, because we want the same bathroom, because we want this, we want that. And it's like, you think, even though I wasn't alive when that shit happened, I remember that shit watching as a kid or whatever. So when somebody says something like, well, look at how the rappers are and this and that, it's like, that's not how everybody looks. There is something called a black citizen. He's not a rapper. You feel me? He's a hardworking citizen. He pays taxes. He wants his kids to be safe. He's big on education. He's big on religion. You feel me? He's arguably a better citizen than you because he's more about his community. You feel me? And it's like, to be taken advantage like this, sometimes it makes me feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I hate to say this, but this peaceful shit is not the way to go about this. I don't know any story with any other race, ethnicity who got peace peacefully. I don't know nobody who voted for freedom and that's what happened, like. So I do feel like sometimes we got to push a hard line. I don't mind the rioting because at the end of the day, motherfuckers got to know we serious about our respect, bro. Like, that's what the main thing is. Marching shit is cool, but once they get used to the marching, and that's not like what Pac said, we were asking, we were pleading, we were begging, now we yelling, and now we breaking shit. Because I swear to God, nigga, we gonna get some equality one way or another. If I gotta go kick a window open and go steal some shit out the Dior store so you niggas know we serious, hey. But we tried being peaceful, you feel me? There's a lot of people who don't shout out to Push Fit Further. But we gonna talk here. You know I was gonna light his ass up.
I thought your eyes got real big.
I was gonna light his ass up for sure. If this was Instagram, I'll look at a suck ass nigga page like, bro, show your room. How you living? Can you be loud? You feel me? But it's cool. We gonna keep on cold with this race talk, even though I guess either a coon or somebody who ain't black don't want us to talk about this black shit. You feel we gonna keep this shit lit. But
what I was gonna say real quick is the shit is in the same way that surviving slavery and Jim Crow and the civil rights era is a trauma to black people. Similarly, how I was saying earlier, our boundaries are just fucked up, right? We can't pretend the same doesn't apply to them. Because if it was so very common to police whether or not black people were free, why do you think he felt so comfortable driving across state lines? Why do you think his mama felt so comfortable driving him across state lines to police people? Because that's in their DNA too. So I just want to make that one little point real quick, because I know we had 2 more topics before we get out of here today, but I just felt like the points that Upgrade is making is like, the experience that he's describing is being gaslit. We've been gaslit by white people forever. Something is happening directly in our faces, and we call it for what it is. And they, like I said earlier, tell us we're playing the race card. But the thing that we're calling out is already the race card. We're already calling out the thing you're doing, and it's wrong. The same way that girl tried to play dumb, she was gaslighting you. You were like, you playing dumb right now, and she tried to make you seem like you were crazy. They've always tried to make us seem like we were animals, like we're crazy. And
I can't even
driving across state lines to kill 2 people normal.
I can't entertain nobody, black or white. If you think racism don't exist, you a clown.
Yeah, we're about to go to the next subject.
All right, for sure.
The next subject real quick.
For sure. We gonna talk about it on my show, Greg. I'm gonna invite you to my show. And we'll talk about
it. We're not doing music right now. Fuck your mixtape.
A whole segment dedicated to this. So what happened with in Humboldt County?
Humboldt County, we got, what's his name? So we got my boy, well, not my boy, fuck this nigga. Jason Robo. Have you heard of that shit? Jason Robo is basically a fucking radio personality, a racist radio personality.
Oh shit.
So basically what he did was a couple of days ago, he went to an Italian restaurant and pepper sprayed the manager in the eyes.
The fuck? Why?
Right? So that's one of the things. He drove into an outdoor restaurant and pepper sprayed the nigga in the eye, right?
This is a radio host?
It's a radio host, right?
That's crazy.
So 2 days later, at the supervisors meeting, Robo was telling people, talking about, you should resign to some girl named Nora Vargas. I can't wait till your arteries clog. Oh. They're not doing it fast enough. Oh. And Nathan Fletcher said, and Nathan Fletcher, you should kill yourself. Oh. A dishonorable discharge will be blowing your brains out. Tara Lawson, I like to call you a little monkey. I don't like to see you hanging from a tree. And Dr. Wilma Wooten, you're a fucking angel mama.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I feel like that's definitely terms to get fired and fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and he's a Humboldt County radio host.
Yeah,
he's a radio host from Humboldt County. It's about to get out for half a second.
Yeah.
This is how some of these people feel, man. You know, there's white folks and then there's cavemen. You feel me? It all depends on the mentality, man. But I swear to God, it's 2 different kind of white folks walking this earth, though, man.
I don't know if it's 2 different kind of white folks, because for me, I feel like, especially because I work in the nonprofit sector, and like I balance from doing social work and doing entertainment. So like where the radio host would be and being on the social work side. And the social work side, I meet a lot of what people call like good white people, you know what I mean? People who are down for the cause. And those people can tend to be almost the most harmful, because they know exactly at what point, they know exactly how far they can go, like with being aware and then playing dumb. You know what I mean? Or if they get called out for their own racism, they feel like, what, like me? What are you talking? I have 5 black friends. What are you talking about? My best friend's black. You know what I mean? Like, they don't realize that they're policing us already. And when you call them out for it, it makes them so uncomfortable. I call it the expiration of allyship. The expiration date of allyship. It's like that clock is ticking. And when, the George Floyd protests were happening and black people started looking at their friends a little closer, that expiration date starts speeding up for a lot of white people. Yeah. They like being around black people during that time, because they realize, damn, my black friends might actually be impacted by the shit that's going on. And they might call me out for something that I did. They start being weird or different or overly nice. Like, shit like that. So when I think about this radio host, he felt comfortable saying all that stuff to all that people, because he probably been saying that shit for years.
Yeah. Humboldt County, white as hell, for sure. Even though hell of the weed is grown there, it's shit white and wild as hell. Niggas living in trailer parks, kind of like on the hill, And it's like, when I was out there, I was for surely like, ooh, this is Humboldt County. I thought it was gonna be like white, rich area with nice weed grows and all this. Like, it's different. It's very hickish for California.
I think he's from Humboldt County, but he worked at a San Diego radio station.
Oh, he's from Humboldt. Well, that kind of makes a little bit more sense now. That makes a lot of sense, because if we think of Humboldt County, Like, and they're, yes, we know they known for their marijuana, having real good marijuana, but they also got a lot of other stuff going on out there. And he went all the way to San Diego, so he probably got into some new shit, and he felt he could flex his white, privilege like he do up in Humboldt County, and they were like, no, we don't do that here. And that's probably a part of his personality to just be a jerk. He's probably one of those hosts, like the, Wild and Five, the random guitar sounds. Like he's probably one of those hosts. And
is he a talk host? Is it an AM station? Because if it's like a Rush Limbaugh kind of person, like they are paid to be race baiters. You feel me? Like that's what they pay to do.
Happening. We're gonna look it up.
Or who's that girl? Ann Coulter? There's always people who ride that line of racism. You feel me? On TV.
Oh, I just saw a picture of him. The answer is yes. I just saw a picture of him. Yes. Yes. The answer to your question is yes. Yep. I see. All I needed to see was a picture of him. Yes.
I'll show y'all a picture too. Fuck it.
If you see the picture that I saw,
yeah. Rush Limbaugh, Ann Coulter. It's a couple people like are put on TV to kind of say how white people feel, in a certain language to where it's arguable and it sounds logical. Like, yeah, he has a good point.
You see what it looks like?
Oh man.
See? I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see him saying something like that and being ridiculous about it.
So he's been fired.
Yeah. You want to go through the article?
Yep.
Oh, he gets beat on.
We sure can.
So let's see what's happening in this article here.
And this is how white folks talk. Well, some when you put the pressure on them, for sure.
Let's see.
Or if you get mad at your white friend.
5-year unpaid radio gig. Jesus. Okay. Comedian Jason Robo on Wednesday apparently lost his 5-year-old unpaid radio gig in Humboldt County a day after his crude rant against 3 county supervisors and racist attack on the county's public health officer. Jeez. Meanwhile, Robo was facing a possible defamation suit by the owner of Roma restaurant in the Gaslamp district. Restaurateur Sergio Torrisi said Robo 39 drove drunk into an outdoor dining area a half hour after the 4th Avenue Eatery closed at 10 Sunday and later lied about the Halloween night incident that allegedly saw Robo pepper spray the Italian restaurant manager. Wow. And so then he went into his supervisor's meeting. He ranted all that stuff. And then, it was K-Mud. You know what? I've actually heard of K-Mud. They are a talk radio station. That is really huge. Wow. It's a nonprofit community station.
Nonprofit.
Wow.
So it still might be AM, but it's not like big time.
But but it's talk radio, and that's really huge for talk radio. I was not trying to play that. Yeah. Wow. Well, all that to say, I hope he gets arrested for pepper spraying that.
For sure. Please give him a couple months in jail so somebody can find his ass.
Yeah, he needs to be humbled because what are you doing? The job was already unpaid.
And I guarantee you, if he go to court, he gonna be crying like that bitch ass nigga shot 2 people.
Come on now.
Right.
When I said he was a monkey, I was just scared for my life.
He's like athletic. Like he looks like he can climb trees better than I can. That's what
that Neanderthal shit, man. I'm telling you, bro. Some of these motherfuckers, they brains never thawed out from the caves, man. Like they mentality is fucking cold as hell, bro.
Like it's ridiculous. It's very wild. Shout out to K-Mud. I hope y'all find a better host, and I hope you get some funding so y'all can pay your host. But if you watching this, Mr. Robo, sir, Jason Robo, you easily could have just quit because it was already unpaid. This is even more embarrassing for you because it was already like that's what makes it even more embarrassing. The first sentence of the article is that it was a 5-year unpaid gig. You mean to tell me you've probably been disgruntled for 4 years? You could have quit. You didn't have to do it because you could have taken the 5 years, kept that rant to yourself, and leveraged that 5 years into an actual paying radio host gig. Like, think about the numbers, bro. You hustling backwards. Like, that just there. So, yeah, that was wild. That was very wild. But the last thing we're going to talk about today is that Summer Walker album. Summer Walker album. That's the
Yes. If you guys haven't heard, Summer Walker has seemed to drop the next Beyonce to the left anthem titled Fourth Baby Mama. It lets you know she's big time tripping. I respect this.
That's not the name of the album.
I mean, the song is called Fourth Baby Mama.
Oh, yeah.
And I respect that. I like that, you know, it's hip hop. It reminds me of like Lauryn Hill and her dope ass songs where she was shading the fuck out of Wyclef. You feel me? Like, put that shit out there. But yeah, I haven't heard the song yet. I looked at the lyrics today. I've heard Rory and Mal talk about her album Slicing London on the track for like months now. And reading the lyrics, like, and just in my head about how she has her runs and her tone, I do look forward to listening to this record. You feel me? But I know Sis could give you more in depth about the whole project. I just want to talk about the ether.
I listened to it. And if Beyonce made lemonade, this is Kool-Aid. Like, because the way that Beyonce was really talking about, we all knew she was talking about Jay-Z cheating on her with some girl and whoop and smelling her perfume and coming through. Who the fuck do you think I is? You ain't married to no average bitch, boy. That's what she said. That's how she comes through the song. Who the fuck do you think I is? You ain't married to no average bitch, boy. That's how she starts the song, right? If that's lemonade, this is Kool-Aid. Because this is very much, she starts out the song with, yo mama should have whooped your ass. That's how Summer Walker starts a song about her ex. Yo mama should have whooped your ass. Like, so I listened to the album. The first song has I want to call it like a monologue because that's exactly what it is, but it's like a little snippet from Cardi B. And Cardi B right now is giving like very mother energy. She's giving very much like embracing the girlies as they come in, welcoming them into like the circle. She seems very open. She seems like she's down to work with any of the girlies. She seems like she's just in support of all the girlies. Okay. That's when we got Megan the collab. That's where we get the Lizzo collab. It's like, I'm down. I support you. The Normani collab. Cardi B's down. Cardi B drops this little monologue, and in the little monologue, she's basically telling Summer Walker, like, own your pain, like turn your pain into profit. Like, these niggas can talk all the shit they want to, but you got a check coming. Like, what can they say when you make money off of your own story? Can't nobody tell you that you can't make money off your own story. So tell your story and put it in your music. And I thought that was the realest thing to say, because if we think of artists, right? Let's think of artists in the way that we think of, back in the days, the backpack rappers and underground rappers. Mm-hmm. We listen to mainstream rappers and talk all that shit, right? Well, when I think of the average artist is similar. Everybody's looking for someone's authenticity in their craft. Everybody's poking holes to see who's real in their music. With the exception of pop. I don't think anybody cares in pop unless you're Black adjacent like Ariana Grande. They want to know your pain. Or if you're Britney Spears, But if you think of like the average, artist, everybody wants to know the authenticity in your craft. Right. If you're a painter, if you're a singer, or do you really have good vocals? If you're a rapper, did you write your lyrics? If you're a painter, can you work in different mediums? They want to know, are you real about your art? And I feel like Cardi B basically told her that. Be real in your art. Because as an artist, I don't have not near baby daddy issues. I have a cat. I got a cat. That's all I got. I have no baby daddy issues. Listening to that album feels so raw, so authentic. It feels like I'm gonna have to go call this nigga and cuss him out. Who? I don't know. But I'm mad all of a sudden. Like, in a good way. It feels like the album that's gonna really make a lot of people face themselves, because even if they don't relate directly to Summer Walker's experience, they relate to the rawness of being in a relationship and feeling undervalued and unseen and unloved and unheard. And while we don't know where Upgrade went, I'm gonna keep going. Like, the album is so genuine. She feels so honest all throughout every single song, even with her feature from JT. Like, even JT feels like, hey, my bad. Even JT feels like a homegirl who came to pep you up after that nigga broke your heart. That's what it feels like in the album. It feels like I'm sitting, just like how, Over It felt like you was listening to some songs and you was like just driving through the city back in high school. This album feels like that breakup with the nigga that you dated all through high school. Feels like this nigga really, like, we really fucked up. My heart is broken and I really love this nigga and he fucked up what could have been so genuine and so authentic from us by being stupid. That's why she clowned that nigga do-rag. She said, get your Bow Wow do-rag and your duffel bag. That's why she clowned the nigga do-rag, because she really knew what would hurt that nigga feelings. That's how much she loved that nigga. I loved you so much that I never clowned your do-rag while we were together. But you know what? Take your funky ass $6.99 do-rag and your raggedy ass duffel bag and get the fuck on. Like, that's why I said, even if you can't relate to it, you got to give the album a try, because it just feels so authentic. It feels so genuine. And she gets raw with herself. She gets really honest about her experience, and she is going to collect a very nice bag from it.
Yeah, I do see that happening though. She seems to have flamed his ass on. I mean, not just on this record though. I know this album is gonna be raw for surely, just because of how her last album was. But now that she's being super, super, super personal now, I think that this is gonna elevate her career. And to be honest, on a record, a lot of people are just making pop songs, and it seems like this one is gonna be a personal take for her, and like, I just think it's gonna be a phenomenal project, like her last one or whatever. And her vocals, like when somebody is singing damn near perfect, it's gonna leave you in a situation where it's like you're not gonna want to hear London on the track side or whatever. But because nigga don't rap, what you gonna do? Put your point of view on the beat, nigga, like.
Right, and then she did sing over his beats. A lot of the beats on the album are his beats, so that's even more of an ether. Like, you getting ate up on your own track.
She did that nigga like hell.
What song was that? Cannabis.
Let me say some of these lyrics on the second verse to Fourth Baby Mama.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a hard.
That's an L for him though. That's an
L already. You know it's ether. But in the second verse, she said, damn, I ain't know you be out here trying to trap bitches. Never took me nowhere lavish till you seen Drake hop on the track with it. If you ask me, you was acting. Whole time just acting. Oh, you ain't give a fuck about me. You was just trying to cash in. Only buy me nice shit, big dates, just for Instagram flashing. Trying to get your likes up. Know you a clout addict. Gotta let niggas know that you had it. And all you be doing is bragging, telling people I'm your queen, but all you mean is just of R&B. God damn. Then she said something about I don't get it. Is you trying to keep up with Thug? Is you racing him? Crazy how you really think that shit's cute, but be embracing it. I'm like, these are like real rap, hip hop. I don't know what the flow is. I don't even know the tempo of the song.
But the bars are nice.
Yeah.
God dang.
Sound like a conversation. It sounds like a conversation you heard when your homeboys getting.
I ain't gonna lie. London is gonna have to produce a Future single. That's what he's gonna have to do to kind of like get some kind of
subliminal. He's gonna have to make Future have a subliminal remix. That sound like a song. That sound like a real conversation you hear your homeboy have with his chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you always trying to impress them niggas? You always over there, they don't do nothing for you. Like, that's why it's funny, because you know you heard those conversations, like the conversation.
That's gonna have Thug like, what you be saying about me, nigga?
Exactly. And that's the part where I'm like, she is the perfect, in this album especially, is the perfect embodiment of how artists say,
what's this stupid?
So she didn't learn from the other 3 baby moms. Look, but
that's kind of shaming.
I'm gonna tell you, right? So everybody gonna be like, oh, you know, if you would have learned, y'all need to choose better men. Woo, 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 woo. Imagine a dude with 3 baby moms. Imagine him. I'm not even talking about a lot of practice, yes. I ain't even talking about London on the track.
No,
I want to
no.
talk about the average dude with 3 baby moms, right? And he meets a new girl, and she dope, and she doesn't have any kids, but she's really dope, and she's really talented, and you're also talented, and so you're trying to figure out how this works. Now, at the same time that you know all of these things about her, you also haven't worked on shit about yourself, including how to pull out apparently, right? But this girl is on the fly, right? Now she really booming. You knew she was talented. And she really booming. So why do you think she opened the second verse like that? I didn't know you tried bitches. What do you think he was telling her? You know what I mean? I'm like, keep it a buck. She probably really believed everything he said. Because by the time you get to, give me your arm, I got you. We already knew. That's why I'm like, no, it's not you, it's the past you. But like, you know what I mean?
It's already broke. It's already broke.
But like, I feel like we have to like really keep it a bean about what these relationships look like. It's cool to be on the outside and be like, oh wow, you just as dumb as the first 3 bitches. But it's like, actually, when I saw the first 3 women, he didn't show me who he was with those first 3 women. I was taking him for who he was with me. And the fact that I thought that he changed and he didn't, I'm just as shocked as you are that I didn't learn from the first 3 baby mamas. Because if I wouldn't have gave him a chance, what do a nigga with 3 baby moms say about bitch? They don't never wanted to, oh, this bitch is weird. It's weird. As opposed to a genuine person coming to you, you got 3 baby moms, I ain't sure one nigga like, I ain't got no kids, but whatever, we kicking it, we figuring it out. You know what I mean? So like, it's cool to be on the outside and be like, you didn't learn from the first 3 baby moms. Nah, nigga, you didn't learn from your first 3 baby moms. Now you're getting flamed on your own fucking beat.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, nigga. You didn't learn from your first 3 baby moms.
Let's not baby shame nobody just because.
Let's not baby shame anybody.
Does your mama have, how many brothers and siblings do you have? Do they have the same last name? Why your youngest brother daddy didn't learn from let's not do this because we're talking about these are lives, you feel me?
Exactly.
People are figuring the shit out, but like, let's just keep it. I mean, some people, it's hella Atlanta niggas, three baby mamas in Atlanta, that's hella good. These niggas be double digit.
That's hella good.
Right. They like, damn, you ain't got that many kids at all. No, let me tell you this, okay? Let's build a bridge. We talked about the Black Wall Street thing earlier, right? That was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My great-great-grandmother survived Tulsa, Oklahoma. The family that survived the massacre and the bombing, the few people that did survive, some of them came to California, okay? There are so many people with my last name, and I have no clue who they are because my great-great-grandfather, great-great-great-uncle was sowing his wild oats all up and down the coast of California. So we want to keep it a buck. Baby shaming people is really not a thing anybody can do because I guarantee you, you got to check niggas' last names to make sure you're not cousins when you're black because of how black people operate, right? So we're not even gonna do that. Everybody knows somebody's grandfather got a baby up the street. Let's not play like that's not a thing. What I feel like happens and is empowering in this situation, especially for Summer, is she owned it. Yep, I am the 4th baby mama is what she said. For sure, I'm the 4th baby mama. But let's build a perspective on how the fuck we got here. Because while I'm gonna be that, you're gonna be who you are too. And that's what I love about what she did. I'm gonna own being the 4th baby mama, but let me make sure niggas know that you had to pack your $7 do-rag in your duffel bag. I'm gonna make sure niggas know. I made you get the fuck out.
London has to give a free beat to Future, have him get Chris Brown on it, and have Tory Lanez sing the fucking bridge or something. If he don't do that, he can just chill. Don't just listen. That Summer Walker the wave is coming Friday, nigga. I would deactivate shit for like a couple months.
Let's also keep it little. Let's think about what's coming up. Thanksgiving's coming up. Christmas. She basically just dropped a Christmas album. She on
NWA.
Like really, she does the Christmas album. It's cuddle season. Bitches is cold. They about to be calling their exes all the most fucked up texts right now.
That's funny.
Is that nigga even dipping? I don't know why I'm thinking about that, but dude.
You know what's funny? It's like every 3 to 4 years, a woman always makes a groundbreaking relationship anthem.
It happens. Adele did it for the white girls, and she about to drop one too. So if you got the black girls and the white girls, and Adele's audience listens to Beyonce, and enough of Beyonce's audience listens to Summer Walker, you about to have Adele's audience listening to Summer Walker shit over the weekend. It's about to be crazy. I'm telling y'all niggas better start buying flowers. Y'all need to go buy some figures. Y'all better just, if you even think something might be up, y'all better get on your shit now.
Hey, so you
I think I might be in trouble.
Hey, so she basically said, so you black niggas that's dating these white women and vice versa.
Nobody's safe.
Nobody's
safe is what I'm saying. It don't matter who you date. If you date Mexican girls, even worse, because they probably listen to Drake, and then that nigga got these bitches talking about, I could have flown you to Toronto, I could got you some chicken. Like these bitches like, come on now. Nobody's safe. If you have a girlfriend or someone that identifies as girlfriend, you are not safe. Go buy something now. Do something now.
For sure. I think it's just inevitable, bro. I just see the wave happening, and Summer got one of them voices, like Scissor season, Summer Walker season. I ain't gonna lie. He would have to probably, his best bet is producing a raw ass Brent Faiyaz project or a single or whatever. Because that nigga is nice.
No, you know what he needs to do? He needs to have Daniel Caesar do, not Daniel Caesar, what's that nigga name? Giveon from Long Beach?
Oh, yeah.
Have him do an apology track.
That will win.
That is going to win.
She's going to eat that shit up on a remix.
She would. But based on how great Giveon is,
it'll help with his branding.
If the song's good enough, people gonna forget. People will forget.
I don't think London should be combative. You feel me? Like Jay-Z didn't respond to Lemonade. You feel me?
Yes, he did. That's what 444 was.
That shit was like about black folks. Well, he did talk about
an apology track.
Yeah, you're right. But like, he's a producer. He should just take the L. He produces on a couple of tracks on the project. You know, I wouldn't even go on no press run, nigga. Just take that shit on the chin. Because whatever you say back, it's gonna make people don't replace Tory Lanez, my nigga. Like, just take this shot in the chin. Do not be up in the blogs talking about, man, that bitch is doing this. And I think she was cheating on me in Texas. And it's gonna make women money. Like, why did you ever deal with that nigga?
I put money. He's either on the way to do a Vlad interview, a Drink Champs interview. What's that other dude? There's one more.
No jumper.
$1 million
a game. The black niggas, Gilly and them.
Gilly probably, but I feel like Gilly the Kid will eat him up. I feel like Gilly the Kid will listen to him.
They're gonna keep it real.
Nah, nigga, you talking about your do-rag, nigga.
That sound like Gilly.
That's exactly what he was saying, nigga. I heard.
What's up with them do-rags?
You let her get on your beats, nigga. Pussy, get that nigga out of here. The interview would be 7 minutes long. 7 minutes long. I feel like he's gonna do No Jumper, Vlad, or who was the first one I said?
No, Adam 22.
I said Adam 22, and No Jumper, or Adam 22, Vlad, or Drink Champs. Yeah. He's on his way to do one of those three. I guarantee you. Interview coming. I give it 5 months, because he's not gonna do it immediately. When he come back, it's gonna be give London on the track 5 to 6 months. Within a 5 to 6 month period, he's gonna do an interview with any one of those three people. I put money on that. I put money on that, because he's not gonna be able to respond with a song. He's not a singer or a rapper. He's a producer.
Right. So that's not even his money.
And if he has someone else sing the song, that'd be cool. I think if the singer is good enough, it'll go over. People will forget. People will, the same way that Jay-Z dropped 444 and he had that like redemption period, right? Where everybody was like, oh, look, it's a black man being vulnerable with his feelings. We don't see that a lot. So they gave him kind of a pass. Lemonade was still dope, but it stopped having that it stopped having that
She
intensity.
made that nigga get on the dance floor.
Yeah,
That's
it took the
hilarious.
intensity away of the album, and what happened, the leverage that started happening, people started realizing the album was just a good album, and the songs just kept doing good because the songs are good, not because they're about Jay-Z. That shift happened. If London on the Track gets Giveon to do something, or even if he gets like her, that girl, that singer, her, to do like an apology track, or the two of them together to do an apology track over one of his beats, I think the Summer Walker album will have the Lemonade effect. It is that the intensity of it being a lash out about all the exes and ex-baby daddies will come down, and people will realize they're just good songs, or maybe not. People might listen to them and they may not like the songs at all. I think the reason what motivated me to listen to it was because I knew it was a diss album to London on the Track. To be honest, that's actually, now that I can be honest about my perception of it, I went into it knowing, oh, she dissing London on the Track. Let me hear what the fuck she talking about, and it is that good. But let me see how I feel if he never comes out with an apology track. It'll always look like a diss album to me.
Okay. Nah, yeah, like I said, man, it's crazy because I never even heard none of her music. I be hearing her name buzzing in the tabloids, motherfucking internet, all like everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I'm not really familiar, but it's just like, damn, it sounds like she really pushing her issues.
Yes, you do. It's a really good. It's worth giving at least 2 listens. At least 2 listens. It deserves.
I like hella her songs on the first album. I'm probably gonna like hella from here. I respect with all the generations of fuck a bitch ain't shit. I was hella young when I heard I better never ever hear a bitch say she broke as long as she got pussy with some ass. And like if I could listen to that, I could stomach some women, you know, saying they side of the story or whatever. It's music.
Right. I feel like a lot of people should go into that when they listen to women's music. For some reason, it's so hard. The reason why I feel like a lot of people believe that there's not a large market of women singers and women rappers, they perceive it that way because of how few women artists get support from men. If you really think about it, right? Beyonce, niggas know Beyonce. That's because of her alignment to Jay-Z, and that opens up the window. Plus, a lot of men who have relationships with women may experience hearing a lot of Beyonce songs. They grew up on Destiny's Child. Like Beyonce has that kind of end to be broad with, no matter where she is, with all genders. But if we think of like women rappers, like I know men who rap who don't know 5 Missy Elliott songs. I know men who rap who can't tell me who Eve was signed to.
Damn.
Like I know men who rap, and can't tell me the difference between MC Lyte and Queen Latifah. Like genuinely. And they get a pass as being considered rappers. But for women come into a space that's male dominated, and men are automatically like, so tell me what Heavy D's blood type was. Like, how the fuck
cares? Yeah, for sure.
But, you know what I mean? It's that kind of challenge. Yeah. So it's not only do I have to come in and be a good artist, but I have to prove myself over and over and over and over again. And so if that's just how it is in the space with other males who do the same thing that I do, imagine if I'm an artist out there in the world. Nobody wants to hear me, even if they're especially if they're not an artist. I only want to listen to what I want to listen to. I want to listen to what makes me happy. I want to listen to people that look like me, that sound like me. That's the average person. That's not everybody. But I'm speaking from that context of not a lot of women artists get that kind of male support. They don't garner that kind of male support. Men feel like my perception is that when men are required to listen to women's music, they have to feel feminine and they don't like it. Or so that's why they don't listen to it at all. They feel weird bumping women's music. Like, even if it's good, they feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And it's very few men. Like, Show is probably one of the only few guys that I know that listens to Lil' Kim. Like, actually will put on the hardcore album and be like, this shit is dope.
Yeah.
He's one of the few men that I've ever met that would remix a Destiny's Child song because he knew it. Not just because everybody else said it's cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like music is music, right? I don't have to have genitals to listen to music if my ears are doing the work. But for some reason, a lot of men, my perception is that men struggle to listen to women artists because they feel like they have to be feminine, or they're required to be feminine, or they feel like they can't relate, which I think is weird
Yeah.
Because how many women listen to male artists and they say "suck my dick"?
Yeah. Shit, one of my favorite Missy songs is "Pussy Don't Fail Me Now," and I like Missy's "Pussy Don't Fail Me Now" more than Mystical's "Dick Don't Fail Me Now." Like, I really fuck with that record or whatever. Maybe it's because my personal memories while that song was coming on, but like, I fuck with it's a couple records that I'll play in front of people. I don't give a fuck how a nigga feel. I like this song. You feel me? Like, people are such followers. And then with men, it's like the bravado. I'm from Oakland, so like, we'll pull up slapping Michael Jackson, PYT. It's not necessarily the hardest song ever, whatever, but like, we have an appreciation for the hits. And like, when it comes to women music, especially rapping, if there's a skill to it, I'm not mad at it at all. Like, I'm a Foxy Brown fan. There's some Foxy that come on, I know the word. It's some Kim that comes on, I know the words. It's some Cardi. My favorite Cardi song is "Be Careful With Me," and to me, that's probably top 2 or 3 Cardi's most lyrical songs. Like, you feel me? Like, I know what I like from whoever. I like Meg Thee Stallion's older shit. You feel me? She got a song, Freak Nasty. I don't want to nigga, that shit slap. You feel me?
That shit is hard.
Like, you know, I like what I like. At the same time, there's some Tory records I like and respect on the musicality side. And like, when it comes to all these artists, you know, like Mulatto, I'm a real ass bitch from the South. Like, there's this chocolate girl, I can't remember her name, man. It's another girl named Callie. She's dead nice too. I watched her perform. I already talked about her on the other Flo Milli.
Flo Milli.
Nice.
I know that's who you're talking about. I knew that's who you was talking about.
Flo Milli is nice for sure.
Flo Milli gives me Missy vibes. Like, she goes there in her videos. She can be camp. I'm a huge fan of like Millie's, just like her creativity. Like, we don't have to show that video. That was a wrong conversation. It's a spirit. Yeah, but like, even when we think of that context of like, even the women rappers that we listed, like, there are so few and far between, but we know there are more rappers. We even know there are better rappers. Like, the thing, this is the thing, when I make these conversations, especially about women artists, as a woman artist, a lot of the conversation people have with me is like, damn, why you not on? And it's like, people don't realize the requirements are different for women rappers and male rappers. You know what I mean? Requirements are different. It's not at all about talent.
And if the dudes are getting fucked, if Snoop Dogg is just saying, you know, casually, I've never got paid off the label. I wrote half of NWA. I did this. And then you have Kanye saying, who gave up his record deal. And in his paperwork, him and Jay-Z split Watch the Throne royalties. They split 17%. What is they giving to these women in hip hop? If this is what Jay-Z and Kanye negotiated, they negotiated 17% the split. I had no ideas niggas was getting fucked in the ass that bad in the music industry, bro. But like, you know, it makes me think, damn, what's Meg getting? What's Cardi getting? You feel me? And then a woman artist, way more upkeep. She got to stay on fleek, hair nice, hair different. Even if you could upkeep your hair or whatever, spend 3 weeks, switch it up.
Not even
how your nails looking, switch it up.
3 weeks. 3 weeks? No. I've seen Meg go through 5 wigs in 1 week.
I believe it.
I have seen Meg go through 4 different nail changes in 2 weeks.
I believe it.
If we think about things like that kind of upkeep, and it's specifically for the requirements of looking good for the brand. But think about these niggas' budgets. Y'all need is a budget for 28 pro clubs for the tour and 12 pairs of jeans and some purses. And that's it for your first tour, and a chain and maybe some hats. Like, and that's it for clothing budget. There's no makeup. It's like, go out there and do it. So they feel like the risk is bigger for women because of what they want the women to look like. Yeah. As opposed to women coming in just as they are.
Yeah. Like, and then it's the body shaming thing too. Like, oh, you're losing weight, you're gaining weight, you're losing weight.
Oh my
this
God,
stuff not fitting you. We got this Gucci dress for you to wear at the red carpet,
and
but
Gucci's
it's only in a size 6. You wear a size 8. You have 2 months to get down to size to wear the Gucci dress, and if you don't,
let's not even even think about the dress is a size 8, but the culture requires you to ask of a size 16.
Shit is not adding up. They
It's
want you to
not
look like
adding
some
up.
sort of cartoon figure. That shit is not realistic.
That's what I'm saying. And those are the requirements. So, when we think about, let's even think about Lil' Kim. Everybody loves Lil' Kim, and there's a lot of hate for Lil' Kim, but Lil' Kim had a requirement for upkeep. And sometimes that upkeep fucks with your mind. So, like, everybody wants to shame Lil' Kim for changing her face, but we don't think about what Lil' Kim had to look like, what people were telling her behind closed doors. We just talked about just some basic shit about a Gucci dress.
Right.
We've seen Lil' Kim in a bikini the size of this zigzag pack, and what do you think she had to make sure her body looked like for that? So it's those kinds of things. It's like women have different requirements fully and have to do different things, and there are different kind of hoops and obstacles to be a woman artist. So if we go back to Summer Walker and we think about Summer Walker's album and her trajectory, even Summer Walker has had to deal with that kind of like shame and those kind of requirements, those hoops and those obstacles. And to be going through all of that with London on the track, ain't had no kids. He got 3, she got none. Does she think they doing all of this together? They think that they riding through this together, and for him to like, for them to be in the position that they're in right now, because I don't want to take accountability from her, because she also admitted she was wilding on Twitter. But the two of them having a relationship they had, I guarantee neither of them expected that. I got the obligations of the industry, and I'm trying to make this relationship work. What the fuck we gonna do?
For real. Man, it's been a real one on this one, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
2 hours, we did it.
Yeah,
Y'all said
2
y'all wanted a longer show. Y'all got 2 hours.
2 hours. Look, man, we're about to wrap it up, man. You know what I mean? It's DJ Show.
It's your girl Inkwell J. It's been real.
It's upgrade. My phone fucking up.
All right, man. I was blessed, so man, we out.
Peace.